up, Sofa Squad, and welcome back to On the Sofa. Hello,
That wasn't
Signals,
ominous at all.
wasn't it?
Oh my god, everybody run, the fucking show's possessed. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Please stay. We need viewership.
Oh dear. Problems with technology as always, but I think I've got it figured it. I think I've figured it out now.
At least for this week. Next
It
week,
is,
of course, it'll be another problem because that's what
yeah,
happens. That's life.
yeah. That's what all the people say.
By all the people, he means me.
Yeah. Um. So how are things with you?
Um, well, my boyfriend is still in jail. Who the fuck is at my damn door? Who the fuck is at my damn door? Who is this? Hey.
You need bread?
Well,
Sweden got some bread. Actual like
uh,
edible bread, not like anyway. So yeah, for those of you who didn't know, Josh is in jail on an old warrant. So you won't be hearing his uncomfortably gay commentary today. Um, which I'm sure is a relief
okay.
for Mike. He's very upset though. Josh is very upset because he didn't get a hold of your TikTok handle before he got arrested.
So never mind.
So I think we've got quite a bunch of doozies today. I mean, we're partly catching up from last week, and which, by the way, I really hope the play was as good as you're telling me because I fucking love Annie.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was really good. The
Josh wanted to know. I'll have to tell him whenever he calls again. What role was your daughter playing?
she was one of the um, New Yorkers. You know, she was
Oh,
just
okay.
yeah, she was one of the kind of she was in the background basically. It wasn't a very big
Okay, but
role, but still,
it's still Annie's a wonderful show, so
yeah.
it's a great opportunity regardless. I was in Guys and Dolls in middle school, so
Oh wow.
yeah, I was one of the missionaries, which
Oh,
I'm sure is very, very, I'm sure that's the funniest fucking thing ever. The idea of me, the fucking descendant of Side Strike, atheist extraordinaire, playing a religious nut. But in my defense, I was 12.
yeah, and and yeah, but it was good. The girls did a really good job.
Good.
It was a really good production actually. I was really impressed,
Of course.
and uh, and of course Felicia played her part really well,
Good.
and she had a great time.
Aw.
And
Well,
they're
that's
they're
what it's
doing
about in the end. The school play is
yeah
supposed to be fun, above all else.
they're doing Legally Blonde as well soon.
Really? They made that into a stage production.
Yeah.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, and I've got a feeling it's going to be really good. Uh,
Aw, love that. So let's delve into it. What are we starting with? Because I know I filled out the Google Doc quite a bit with a bunch of
yeah,
stuff.
you've been busy this week. Uh,
Listen, I work overnight. I have nothing to do with most of my time. So, of course, I was going to jump on the doc and put some stuff in.
why? Yeah, well, I appreciate it. Um, let's have a look. What have we got here? I want to start off with P&O protesters heckle Tory MP,
Okay.
and it's saying share tab audio, so that should be fine. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Oh, hang on. Let's.
You voted for firing You voted for firing You voted for firing retards. You voted for firing You voted for firing You voted for firing You voted for firing retards. You voted for firing and retire. Shame on you. You retire and retire. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame.
Okay.
God, it brings me so much joy to hear a Tory getting heckled. That just brings me so much happiness.
Yeah. So this is Tory MP Natalie Elphick, who,
Of course, she's a blonde.
who
Republican women are almost always blonde. Maybe not naturally so, but they will be blonde.
Yeah, well, almost always.
Well, yeah.
It does seem to be the case. But she turned up to Dover to this protest, but because as I'm sure.
Hi, Greg.
Oh, hi, Greg. P&O sacked all their employees by Zoom, basically. Are you aware of this?
That I wasn't aware of, but does it shock me? Of course not. I think we figured out by now that, if I'm going to be back on this fucking show full time, it needs to continue to take a lot to shock me.
And they basically, rehired some new staff at cheaper, so they could pay them less, basically. And so these guys were rightfully angry.
Oh, of course.
And so they were protesting in Dover, and so the MP for Dover, Natalie Elphick, thought that she would get a photo opportunity by turning up to this protest, and they start heckling her because they know that she had an opportunity to vote for this bill that Labour were trying to pass through to ban the fire and rehire the thing that companies do. Shenanigans.
Fuckery. Shenanigans. Fucking. I have a million words for this. Can't think of them all, but.
But of course, she, along with all her fellow Tory MPs, voted against this bill that would have banned this practice of fire and rehire.
Well, yeah, we all know that the Tories, just as much as the Republicans over here, are the party that stands for the right to exploitation.
Yeah. And Greg is asking, are you on an hour late because of daylight savings crap? Can't stay long. Our clocks haven't gone forward an hour yet. They're due to go forward soon, though, I think, but they haven't gone forward yet. So that's probably why we're late as far as you're concerned. But anyway, so it's a shame you can't stay long.
Yeah, really, it's a pleasure having you.
Yeah, but it's a pleasure having you nonetheless. But anyway, so these guys, at the protest, they called her out. I don't know if you heard that, but one of them was shouting, "You voted against, the bill," and they started chanting, "Shame on you." And at first, she joined in, thinking that the "shame on you" was directed at P&O. But then, when she realised that it was directed at her, she stopped.
How did she not realize right away? How stupid is this woman?
Well, she's not the full quid. Let's put it that way.
So the wheel is spinning, but the hamster is dead. Is that what you're doing? So few fries short of a Happy Meal.
Yeah. She's a couple of cans
short of Christmas tree.
She's a couple of cans short of a 6-pack.
Love that. A couple energy drinks short of a scientist not killing somebody at work.
Yes.
Although now I have coffee creamer, so I don't need to buy energy drinks. I put coffee creamer in the employee fridge. Wow. Wonka's Whipple Scrumptious Fudgy Caramel. It's actually really good.
Nice.
Yeah, it makes the Starbucks K-Cups not taste like overpriced guilt and sadness. That is what Starbucks tastes like to me. Overpriced guilt and sadness. Because you feel fucking guilty because you spent that kind of money because it's Starbucks and it's supposed to be so great. And then the sadness when you realize it's actually really shitty coffee.
Yeah, that's true.
You want good coffee? Drink Death Wish. World's strongest coffee. That shit saved my life working at Quality Inn.
I bet.
Until I almost died. That was fun. Not.
Yeah, well, yes, exactly.
Yeah,
But,
fucking coming into shooting the shit from my hospital bed, like doped up on morphine, crying about an ice cream truck. I don't think school will ever let me live that down.
No, exactly. But yeah, okay. But yeah, so she when she realised they were shouting shame on you to her, she stopped chanting and walked away. And then
Dead bitch.
yeah, but then the stupid thing is that a few days later she had another opportunity to vote for the same bill. I think it was the same bill that would have put an end to fire and rehire went through Parliament again, and guess what?
She voted against it again.
Yeah.
Of course she did. That was such an easy question that I'm almost insulted by the fact that I responded to it.
And we've got Purple with us.
Purple!
Hello, Purple. And she's saying that she's going to keep working but listening. So yeah, thanks
Love
for
it.
dropping by. Yeah, so proving, and we've got Godless Sewing lurking.
Oh God! Now it's a party.
Yeah. But she proved once and for all that there was nothing more than a photo op, and she doesn't really give a rat's ass about these workers at all.
That's on par for a conservative, not giving a fuck about us little guys, working people. Are you kidding?
Yeah. And the thing is, if Godless Sewing is saying, oh, and how dare you speak ill of Lord Starbucks?
How dare you elevate Starbucks to that kind of pedestal, motherfucker? Everyone knows that the best coffee, I'm telling you, it doesn't come from Starbucks. It doesn't even come from Dunkin' Donuts, because Dunkin' Donuts is shit too. Honestly, no, you're better off making your own fucking coffee.
Yeah.
I personally make a killer cup of coffee. Come to the East Coast. I will make you a cup of my killer fucking coffee, and then we'll talk. Fucking Lord Starbucks. I gotta smack the shine right off his bald head for that.
And
you've been on Street with Will? Have you seen how shiny his head is on cam? I will slap the shine off of it for that.
Oh yeah, Will, if you're welcome to join, mate. If you want to, the link is there in the usual place.
Oh hell yeah! Oh, I'm totally down for it. Oh fuck yeah! I love streaming with Will. Get the fuck in here, because Artie blew us off again. I swear to God, if it's to get laid again, I'm gonna tell him that it has to be like fucking sofas before hofas. Like, yeah, we're gonna have a little talk. Although maybe I just scared him.
Possibly.
I do that a lot. I scare people. I'm mean.
Well, that's
part of my appeal, but I'm mean. So, what else have we got? Madeline Albright passed away.
Yeah,
I put it in the doc
later. But I just want to finish talking about this story. Because I've got something else I just want to add. Because you can guarantee if a Labour MP had turned up to that protest to join in with the protest,
Will
she
says
would.
send him a link because he's blocked half the internet.
Oh, oh right. Okay, I'll send you a link, a link in the DMs. But you can guarantee that she would have been first in line to criticise a Labour MP for
Oh yeah, absolutely. Typical Tory hypocrisy.
And called it virtual signaling or some shit like that. So the utter hypocrisy of it is, beggars belief. It really does. I'm trying to find something. I can't find Will on Twitter.
Hang on. I'll copy the link, and I think I can do multi-window mode. And then I can go to Twitter.
But anyway, while we're trying to figure that out, let's try to share the next story.
Yes. Okay, I'm just calmly sliding in Will's DMs while we're doing that.
So, this is a good one. Ukraine war. Boris Johnson sparks fury after comparison to Brexit.
Oh my God. I saw that and I couldn't bring myself to read it because I knew I was just going to piss myself off. So what have we got?
Yeah, so hang on, let's see if we can play this.
And I know there are some around the world, even in some Western governments, who invoke what they call realpolitik and who say that we're better off making accommodations with tyranny. I have to say, I believe they are profoundly wrong. And that to try to re-normalize relations with Putin after this, as we did in 2014, would be to make exactly the same mistake again. And that is why Putin must fail. And I know that it's the instinct of the people of this country, like the people of Ukraine, to choose freedom.
Here it comes.
I can give you a couple of famous recent examples.
Oh my God.
When the British people voted for Brexit in such large numbers, I don't believe it was because they were remotely hostile to foreigners. It's because they wanted to be free.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, really?
So, yeah, you heard him there comparing the people voting for Brexit with the Ukrainians' struggle against Russia.
Ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. Okay, well, I slid a link into your DMs, my guy.
Okay, yeah. Oh, thanks. Thanks for doing that. So
yeah, no problem. You said you were having trouble finding him, so I figured, you know what? Yeah. The power of multi-window mode.
Yeah, cool.
It almost makes me not miss having an iPhone as much, but only almost. If it was up to me, I'd still have a fucking iPhone. God, Johnson's voice just makes me want to throw my phone through a window, but I kind of need it to be here.
Yeah. Yes.
And I can't really be without a phone when you have an incarcerated boyfriend.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so the article says this. Boris Johnson has been criticised for comparing the struggle of Ukrainians fighting Russia's invasion to people in Britain voting for Brexit.
Oh, Christ.
Yes, I think he thinks he is Christ.
I mean, wouldn't surprise me if he thought he was the second coming or some kind of... There's definitely a Messiah complex in there somewhere.
How's it going?
Hey, Will.
Do you know, I
Smack,
think he's.
smack, bitch.
I still think that Boris Johnson is kind of shocked that he won.
Do you think so?
He just has this, always constantly has this look on his face like, oh, I'm really here.
I have
You
no
know-
idea what I'm doing.
But, really quick to butt in from someone across the pond. The Ukrainian war was actually something that was positive for Boris Johnson because weren't they about to kick him out of office for Partygate?
Exactly. Yeah. And
It's
and
an
now,
effective distraction. I mean, I don't think they planned this, but
No.
but it's definitely like, I mean, the Tories are opportunists for sure. So they're definitely going to jump on the chance to, look away from Boris Johnson blatantly throwing a party in violation of COVID regulations in 2020. There's a fucking war going on. Who needs a pandemic when we got a war?
Because I
Ew, I'm turning into
legitimately,
my mother.
I fall asleep to like Sky News or the BBC, and I thought they were gonna sack the guy.
So did,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we were on the verge, like before this war broke out. We were discussing how it could very well have been. It was about to be the end for Boris Johnson for sure.
So I have
Yeah.
another question about your government, Sofa. If Johnson disappears, do the people in his cabinet disappear too, like Priti Patel?
Oh, God.
The other shiny head, I can't remember his name now. He has my complexion. Oh, what's his name? I can't remember his name now.
Savage Javid.
Yes. Do they all go if he goes?
But potentially, yes, because the new leader will want to do a cabinet reshuffle
Mm-hmm.
and get some new blood in there.
Because like in America, when the president goes, all the people that were in the White House
The
go
whole
with-
cabinet goes, yep.
Yeah, everybody's gone.
But-
Well, because it's the president's appointed cabinet, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, if there's a new leader elected to replace Boris Johnson, he or she will definitely want to shake things up a bit and get some new people in. But you'll probably still see the same faces in there, but probably in different positions.
Probably.
I'm still shocked every time I see Theresa May speak or say something. But like in America, when you get sacked or you lose an election or you get pushed out of office, you don't see that person for like 10 years.
Yeah, it is kind of like you kind of slink into a hole of shame.
I forgot that Hillary Clinton, if it wasn't for Twitter, I would flat out would have forgotten that Hillary Clinton existed.
I
Well-
didn't forget about her.
I'm just saying, like, we don't, like, Theresa May is still working, is she not? Is
Do
she
we,
still an
do
MP?
we hear about
Yeah.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders anymore?
That's what I'm saying. Like in America, no, she made some idiotic, she's always on Twitter standing next to Trump propaganda.
Oh yeah, well that's typical.
So but Theresa May, she's still the member of Parliament for Maidenhead, but she's on the back benches. But every now and then she'll say something. She'll speak out against Boris Johnson. But I think that's just sour grapes on her part because
Yeah, there's definitely her credibility is shot because of that potential for.
Well,
that vote.
I watched through Brexit from 2 years before when it was just talk up until now. So as an American, every time I see Theresa May, I'm like, oh, they still put you on the field, huh?
You poor sweet summer child.
like okay, perfect example. If so I always invert her name, Marjorie Taylor Greene or Green Taylor.
It's Taylor Greene.
Okay, I always invert her name. Like when she eventually gets put out of office, she's either going to go back to the zoo, get put in a loony bin, but she will go out to obscurity. Like she
No,
will
I
be
don't think she
forgotten.
will. I don't think she will. That bitch loves the fucking spotlight that she's getting from being such a raging, bloviating idiot. She's gonna keep running her mouth all over social media and trying desperately to stay relevant.
Yeah, but these people don't have money like Trump. Trump, but like like it
Twitter
or
is
not.
free. Twitter is fucking free, Will.
No,
Come
I
on
agree.
now.
I agree. I agree. No, I agree with that. I'm
She'll
just.
if there's any justice, she'll be banned off of Twitter and
Yeah,
Facebook and
Well,
all
she
social
already
media.
got her personal account suspended.
Yeah,
But
No,
she still has Facebook. She still has fucking,
but
you know,
she'll
Alex
probably
Jones
be.
is entertaining her, for God's sake. Alex fucking Jones, the king of the stupid, crazy people. She's whining at Alex Jones about how she's being treated like a crazy, stupid person. Bitch,
Yeah.
you're literally talking to the king of crazy, stupid people.
Yeah, but nowadays, and especially in both of our countries, Sofa, we give pedestals to crazy. We used to not even acknowledge crazy people. Now we give them office.
Yeah.
You know, so times have definitely changed. It's like Lauren Boebert and what's her face howling like howler monkeys on the house
During
floor.
the State of the Union, oh my God,
I'm sorry, that would have never.
unheard of.
And I've heard booing during the George Bush era, and they respectfully booed.
Who the fuck is calling me?
And the same with your country, Sofa. Like, Priti Patel should be put up on war crimes. Everybody's blaming Putin. What about Priti Patel? What does she do to immigrants? You know?
Yeah, but people forget that Priti Patel was fired by Theresa May, and because she, she was basically acted as a fifth column.
What the fuck is going on with my audio?
I can hear you.
Yeah, so can I.
No, I'm just, somebody tried to call me, and now everything's coming out of the fucking earpiece instead of the speaker. So I'm gonna refresh the page, and hopefully that'll solve the problem.
Technology's funny that way. So she was sacked by Theresa May and then brought back by Funny
Stop calling.
She was brought back by Boris Johnson because she's because she's a Brexiter, basically.
And she's a hardliner too.
Yeah. She believes in the death penalty. She wants to, she has said that on television that she, believes in bringing back the death penalty.
When's the last time that your country implemented the death penalty on someone?
Oh, I don't know. I think it was the late 50s. I think it was the late 50s, yeah.
Because here, it happens all the time, but I would imagine in your country, it's something that wouldn't happen as much as here. Like George Bush Jr., I love saying this fact. He, as governor, killed more human beings than anyone in Texas history.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was the strangest fact, but
who the fuck let stool up in here?
He's the captain of Kill 'em and Grill 'em. In California, we stopped the death penalty after a certain year.
That sucks, because Scott Peterson needs to die.
Oh, don't even get me started on our death row. Sirhan is there, the guy who attempted to shoot Reagan. Like, there's all kinds of people that, and I'm not trying to get old man on you, but I pay for those people. I pay.
How many states still has the death penalty now?
Alexa, how many states in the United States of America still have the death penalty?
Here's something I found on the web. According to CoastHero.com, today, 31 of the 50 states still use the death penalty.
31 of the 50 states.
31?
Yeah.
Maybe New Jersey isn't one of them.
So fun fact, when you get near the ocean, we try to help each other. The more you get inland in America.
That sounds about right.
And pick a direction, because my brother lives in Montana, and they are evangelical. And it was funny because we look alike, and so people in the town were like, they were like looking at me like I was my brother who had lost his mind, because my brother is this evangelical Christian and I come in wearing patches.
Oh my God.
Yeah. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I thought they were gonna sack the guy.
No, not no more.
Like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was watching your stream like a month ago, and I was like, "Oh, they're gonna sack this guy. Like they're getting close."
Yeah, I remember
you know?
we were all talking about it. You were in the chat, and it's like, yeah, Johnson's finally gonna fucking go. Johnson's finally gonna fucking go. And then the fucking war breaks out. No, never mind. Johnson doesn't have to go after all.
I'm not saying it's the movie Wag the Dog, but you should go watch the movie Wag the Dog.
I've never seen it.
It's a great movie.
I feel like at this point, me saying I've never seen a movie doesn't shock you anymore.
I finally accepted that I used to be the youngest person in the room, and I am no longer that, so I have to accept that as well.
So I am pushing 30. I am not that young.
I'm 11 to 12 years older than you, so you're great. Don't make me quote John Cougar.
I'm 28 and I have to take fucking blood thinners for the rest of my miserable life. I qualify as an old person a lot more than you do. I have to take my pills or I'm gonna die.
I'll spare Sofa pulling out my pill box, but we don't want to have a medical off here.
Oh, dear.
And you know what? Sofa can't say anything because I follow that motherfucker on TikTok and holy baby face. But you don't have facial hair, Mike. You look younger than you're almost. I did not realize that you're old enough to be my dad.
I'm in my 40s too. I'm like actually in my 40s.
You're also old enough to be my dad, technologically.
There's bum cheese. So
no. Why? I was having a nice day. Why do you do this to me?
Bum cheese.
How are
there
you, sir,
goes my fucking day.
How are you?
Hello. I was muted.
Yeah, it's probably better that way. We like him better when he doesn't talk. Great. Now I got to get my insult game back on point because Stool's here. There goes the rest of my nice Thursday before I have to go to work.
I went to work and I went and bought a sewing machine on the way home because they put an antique store across the street from my job.
Okay, so what's that? 30 sewing machines you have now?
Oh, you don't even want to know.
I don't think I do.
I'm ridiculous.
Literally, I was about to go outside and smoke a cigarette, then I see Stool pop up underneath me. I'm like, oh.
Sofa, I'm trying to stay focused. So this knob pulled his vote of no confidence against bed hair. I call him bed hair because like Boris Johnson just looks like he goes like this on purpose.
he does, yeah.
He does.
I swear.
I feel like he's trying too hard to have JBF hair. If y'all don't know what JBF hair is, I'm going to be very sad. I mean, Will wouldn't know the first thing about hair considering he doesn't have any, but...
I haven't had hair since there was a 19 in front of the year. So it's been a long time since I've had hair.
Okay, Grandpa.
No, but my whole point is, so the war has been a great distraction because you would have had somebody else's PM by now if the war hadn't happened.
And this guy, what a yellow bastard!
Oh my god, I can't sit out here. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm actually smoking a cigarette in my fucking bathroom and I'll set off the fire alarm. Because I need a cigarette for this discussion.
Douglas Ross, the leader of the Scottish Conservative Party, has withdrawn his letter of no confidence in Boris Johnson, citing the war in Ukraine and saying it was no time for a change of leadership. But
that doesn't make sense.
When is the right time?
There's never right.
My whole thing is like, as anyone who had a family member pass away during the COVID time and you couldn't see them, as someone that actually happened to, I kind of feel the pain of all the people that want him to get kicked out of office. He was literally flouting the rules and saying, "There's rules for me and there's rules for you." And
all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others.
Yeah, but in America, that's quite literally one of the biggest problems that we have. Like people,
Well, apparently it's not just a problem here.
No, I know. But my whole point is, like, he was about to lose his job,
But,
that's where the UK would have had something on us. I mean, it would have been better late than never, but it would have been some form of accountability.
Partygate is a mess that a lot of people finally got upset about. The The fact that Johnson is a fucking Russian asset who our own security services
They're all
don't trust
Russian assets. They're all taking Russian money.
means nothing. And, you know, I gave up worrying a long time ago because I told you fuckers in 2019 and you didn't listen to me, did you? You didn't fucking listen to me.
Well, to be fair, it's kind of hard to listen to you when it's like listening to 1,000 nails on a chalkboard.
You know what, though? I said this about Trump years before he was elected. I was like, he's going to destroy America. And people are like, oh,
Absolutely.
no.
I'm just going to say this because Mike can be my witness. Hallelujah. I literally said in 2019, this is going to get fucking bad. Because I heard the klaxons the day after they cheated and won that election, that general election in 2019. I said, this is going to go really fucking bad. And I'm also the fucking idiot who was arguing with somebody about the orange shit gibbon, saying...
The orange shit gibbon. Ew, that's where I got that fucking term from. Ew, I have to stop calling people shit gibbon now.
I said at the time, don't argue about who's going to take over. The most important thing is to get him out.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he gets in again, it's going to get really bad. It will be bad.
I said 2020.
I said bad things will happen if he loses this election. Now, I couldn't predict January the 6th, obviously, but bad shit did go down. If he was in for a second term, where would we be now with a Ukraine war?
Oh, we would be, America would be helping invade Ukraine. Because Trump,
Absolutely.
Trump was a Russian.
Oh my God, Trump would have been praising Putin left and right.
Yeah.
Kidding?
So, exactly. Or we would have gone the isolationist route of, oh, we're not worried about them, we're worried about us kind of thing. You know?
That would not have been
Trump either would have helped Trump either would have helped Putin, or he would have tried to stay out of it out of fear, because I'm sure Putin's got a shit ton of blackmail on him. The PKs, anybody?
You got to remember that the orange one is basically Putin's bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And he spent how long bitching about NATO, telling lies about NATO, which is basically Putin. That's Putin speak, because he's the only fucker who hates NATO. Most Americans didn't even know what NATO was, and still don't, because calling Putin, the orange shit gibbon told a lot of lies about NATO and told the Americans how people don't pay enough into NATO, which is not even how NATO fucking works.
That's not a thing at all.
It's not a thing.
No.
It's never been a thing.
How people have a totally uninformed opinion.
I actually had this argument with someone on a low level way, like saying, I pay for this. Like, show me how you pay for that, you know?
Like, okay, we get it. You pay income taxes.
Yeah. Like,
I saw him the other day, the orange shit gibbon. He was saying, oh, look, I made Germany pay more into NATO. It's still not a fucking thing. No country pays into fucking NATO.
I like how you say, I saw him the other day, as if you saw him in the high streets.
In Tesco.
In Poundland or something.
Yeah, in Poundland.
Yeah, what did you run into him while you were going out for yet another Cadbury egg stool?
Hey, I went to the American version of Poundland today. I love the 99-cent store.
Listen, I absolutely
love the
Dollar Tree. I love Dollar Tree. Like, I like actually get all my fucking shampoo and shit from fucking Dollar Tree.
Oh, same here. Isaiah needed conditioner. I was like, I got you, fam. I got you. Let's go.
I got a big ass. Hang on, let me fucking turn on my camera and turn it around, because I'm like already in my bathroom. Let me see if I can use a different camera. Let me see if I can turn it around.
The problem.
Turn it around. Let me see.
I hope she's not.
There we go. So this is like my big ass fucking shampoo and conditioner. I got a really nice hair mask with all that from fucking Dollar Tree. You can't go wrong with that. Like, on some real shit. Please pardon the fact that I look like absolute hell, because I literally roll out of bed and come on here.
So I can't talk too much trash about how the Russians own London, because I live in Los Angeles and they own just as much property here as in London. The shop I go to buy my pot is owned by Russians. I worked at 4 different tattoo shops when I was in my 20s on Hollywood Boulevard. Every single one of those businesses owned by someone from Russia. You know,
Of course.
they have the money to pay the rent because it's unreal rent in Hollywood. Like you wouldn't, it's astronomical. You literally
So much shit in fucking Philly too. When I lived there, there's a whole ass supermarket that is known to be Russian. The net cost is the Russian supermarket.
But
and I've never gone in there for a reason.
My whole point is that they do this in every country, just like the whole information war. These are nothing. This is nothing new. You know, we in the West are just affected by it now, so we're noticing it.
Yeah, like Russia's trying to stop the financial monopoly.
I said this the other day. Like my dad was in the Navy from 1957 until 1972. Most of that was Cold War era, just keeping the Russians back, you know?
Yeah. So, and now look,
you know what really burns my ass
about me when I get a lighter.
But the Tories, you know, they've been saying, we need to stop being dependent on getting our fuel from Russia.
Yeah.
So what do? They go cap in hand, begging from one dictator to another dictator in Saudi Arabia.
Who the weekend before killed 18 individuals because they felt like it. Yeah. Because they felt like it. Literally before their blood was still on the streets and Boris Johnson was walking over it, you know? Saying, I don't like dictators, and you go to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, really.
The hypocrisy of it, it really angers me. It really.
Yeah, but look on the bright side, Mike. If you go out now and buy yourself a car, you'll be able to save 5p a litre on petrol.
Well, I don't drive, so.
Well, I haven't got a car, but let's go out and buy one.
That's probably better, because I feel like you behind the wheel is just a death sentence.
We'll get a car between us, Mike. I'll drive, you can passage. And we'll split, we'll split the 5p between us. and that'll help pay for our heating. Because apparently that's a thing. That's literally a thing.
And we can finally go to Flamingo Land together.
Yay.
Oh my God.
To be fair though, in America, we pay for our heating too. Like they
I don't pay for heating here.
Oh, I live in California.
I live in a motel.
So
speaking of living, Will, you didn't hear, did you? Josh is in jail.
Yikes.
Yeah. So
is it a case of while the cat's away?
While the cat's away, I'm still going to talk all the shit to Stool that I damn well please, because he has no bearing on that.
See, this is another reason why.
Who farted? Somebody farted. Did I just hear somebody fart?
This is another. It wasn't me. This is another reason why.
You denied it to fight it.
If you lived in Southern California right now, our criminals are getting arrested and processed out within 5 hours.
Really? Because Josh has been where he is. He got arrested Monday. It is now Thursday. He might be in there for up to like a week or so, because he had a warrant out of Pennsylvania and he got caught in New Jersey. And I told him to clear that shit up. I'm not bailing him out either. I told him, I was like, you got yourself into this mess because you skipped court. I'm not cleaning it up. That is where I draw the line. I have put up with your bullshit. I support all your efforts to do better in your life. But I'm not cleaning up your legal mess, because if you had just gone to court for this minor little charge, you'd have been done with it by now. You didn't listen. That's on you.
Oh,
Can't live with him. Go to jail if I shoot him.
Okay, so is Boris Johnson like... He is hanging on to this conflict because it's saving his arse.
Yeah,
absolutely. This is him trying to regain some positive PR. And I'm going to be disappointed but not surprised if it works.
The other guy you can see there on the right, I do not like, this will surprise you, I do not like that guy.
You don't like anybody.
That's Oliver Dowden, and he's the chairman of the Conservative Party. And I'm tired of calling him a twat every tweet he makes because he discusses.
Well, do you want some fresh insults? I can give you some fresh insults.
Stool, if it wasn't for you, like every time that you call him a twat, I click and go on the link and watch the news clip. Every
I
time you
can't
tag
abide-
this-
He keeps trying to stir up the culture wars. It's really
Yeah.
pathetic.
Did you see that utter gibberish he wrote the other day about privet hedges?
Yeah.
Well, Putin said the same thing. Putin said the exact same thing. He like tried to blame the culture war. No, he tried to blame the woke culture on lying about what's going on in Ukraine.
Yeah. And that's
Why
exactly
are they
what
using woke as such a fucking ridiculous pejorative? I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some people they talk about stay woke, and they really are fucking crazy. But like,
it's
that's not what
manufactured
this is.
outrage, and this is what they do now. I mean, you lot have been doing it for a long time, but our lot in charge now do it. This is how they keep us all fighting against each other with this make-believe nonsense.
Absolutely.
It was only. I mean, this. What are we in now? What date are we on now? Who knows?
Today is March 24th, 2022.
24th. When's Easter, Mike, in our land? Do you know?
I think it's next week.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right. So it was about a month ago.
It's in April this year for us, isn't it, Will?
I don't celebrate. I have to look at my calendar now. You guys have me.
Listen, I don't celebrate like religious holidays and all, but Easter is an excuse to dress my daughter in adorable dresses. So
you know how every year Christmas we start the celebrations and the adverts start earlier and earlier. I saw the first Easter. They won't put Easter on the Easter eggs anymore. Oh, Muslims! Oh,
for goodness sake!
My God!
A month ago. So this is what they do now in this country. It's all walkie because it gets all the idiots outraged.
Do you know what's really funny? You guys are turning into America because even here in Lefty Land, they're advertising Easter everywhere. But that's because we're consumers here. We're at least on the West Coast. It's not about religion; it's about buying stuff. So if whatever you're into,
it's about candy.
They'll sell it to you. You know,
it's about fucking candy. Let's be real. Easter's about candy in America.
No, but just like Stoll was saying, though, here in America, people go up and if the Cadbury commercial isn't on TV, people are like with pitchforks and torches out on the street. You know, that's America.
It's similar to the war on Christmas. Obviously, completely make believe.
Oh my God,
this Easter thing where all the racists come out and say, "Oh, these Easter eggs don't say the word Easter on them," and they never have ever. I mean, sometimes they're called Easter eggs. Most time they're called chocolate eggs. But who gives a fuck? But they go out.
I go to buy Easter egg coloring kits, and they don't say Easter egg coloring kits. They never did. Like I remember being a kid, it never said Easter on it, and I'm not a kid anymore. That's for damn sure. But
they go to the supermarket and take photos of the chocolate eggs and go, "Oh, you're not allowed to say Easter anymore."
It's not Easter eggs. It's got nothing to do with Easter eggs. Have got nothing to do with Christianity anyway.
No, that's a fertility thing.
Don't even get me started on the pagan origins of Christianity.
Oh my God, we need to like have a whole ass special about that. Just for the hell of it.
No, but it's manufactured outrage, and they're also cry bullies because what happens is you're not doing what I want you to, so I'm gonna scream as loud as I can and say I'm oppressed, and no one hears me, even though you're on a national news network. You know,
Mike, do you have the thing that Dowden said about privet hedges?
Oh no, I don't.
Because that was just the most insane gibberish ever. He wrote this thing about fucking walking down country lanes and privet hedges. How privet hedges symbolise our love of the nation and security. And everyone's saying, "What the fuck are you talking about, you dick?"
Right.
That's like when people talk about
maybe we smoked a little too much of the giggle bush.
No, in
or
America,
is that illegal?
People pull the same shit in America. Like what they're doing, it's so easy to see through because it's the same bullshit they do in America. Mm-hmm. They wear it's the exact same formula. They're flag shaggers.
Mm-hmm.
by a real
Oh.
life
They're
flag
pretend
shagger.
flag
Flag
shaggers
shaggers.
because they know that it gets all their fans angry and pretend outraged.
Do you know?
And his thing about the privet hedges was, I can't remember the words he used, but it was utter gibberish. But it was basically privet hedges, blah, 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 let's fight the wokes. Ugh.
Do you know what I can't watch is I've tried to get into it. I even subscribed for a while, but I unsubscribed because I can't take it. Is GB News.
Oh, God, don't watch that, Will. You're so much better than that.
I like watching.
Why was
I
he
like,
talking about how GB News is owned by Russia, Mike?
no, but I like watching the opposing
Yeah.
side because I want to know what these psychos think. But it's so overblown that I
Oh,
cannot
Randolph.
Hi,
watch it.
Randolph.
Hey, Randolph. It's
Mike, if
so
you've-
overblown.
Talking about GB News, Mike, right, I saw a clip a few weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago. You know, Farage has got his thing on there
Oh yeah.
where
Yeah.
he invites a guest
Yeah.
along to share a pint with him
Yeah.
Oh my
This is
God!
on a news channel. And he had Mog on.
Don't choke, Will. Don't choke. I already
He's
did
got
that.
Mog there.
Oh my
and-
God! The pivot hedges of freedom. What?
This is another one of my famous stool diction. What do I call a stool prediction? I don't know. But
Stool diction.
they seem to have removed it
Ew,
from
that
the.
just sounds so poopy.
They seem to have removed it now from the clip. I can't find it, but I saw the original. And Mog has stated, Mike, I don't know whether you're aware of this, but we, British, absolutely hate and are sick and tired. I've tweeted about this. Of every time we go to a website, we have to click and click and click and click and click and click and click. A GDPR. You know, we have to accept cookies once.
The
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
cookies. Listen, we have to do
He's-
that here too.
Yeah, he's telling us that we are sick and tired of this.
God damn it,
Wow.
Will. Why do you have to be smoking when I can't smoke because I have work in like 4 hours?
Now, we know why he's doing this, Mike, don't we?
Go on.
He and his little band of merry wankers hate, they hate GDPR so much because we, EU regulation, which obviously they can now get rid of, we have to opt in. Sorry, yeah, we have to opt in. If we want somebody to be able to use our data, we have to click and opt in. Whereas in America, it's the reverse. They have to opt out. These fuckers want our data so badly. And so he's now
Yeah.
telling us that we've always hated having to click and click and click and click. It takes forever, you know, Mike. Click, 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 click. It takes like a quarter of a second.
So he's doing the infomercial thing where he makes life look more difficult than what it really is.
Yeah. If you remember, you know, he did that thing in the Sun newspaper where he asked Sun readers, this is Mog, he asked Sun readers to write in and to tell him which EU regulations they hated the most. Like, this is in 2022, not 2016. Think about it. And he said the other day on LBC, he lied his ass off. Check my tweets. He lied his ass off and said, one of the
Oh my
things-
God. Just when I don't think you can grind my gears anymore simply by existing.
He said the Sun readers have told me that they hate having to click on these things. He's making it up. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
When
predicted it.
When people start
Regulation.
speaking for you, though, you know they're wrong. When someone says saying you right, they're literally punking you and just telling you what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Uh,
Randolph,
all sound like my mother, and I don't know how I feel.
Randolph is saying GDPR's cookie warning nonsense is the result of dumb decision making by people who don't understand internet technology.
So everybody.
There was a reporter who covers what happens in Westminster the other day, who in the House of Commons, there's a theme here, and if nobody sees it, then they're idiots. He stood up in the House of Commons and said, can we not ban cookies? They're playing a fucking game. But a lot of them are too dumb to understand what GDPR is anyway. So, but that's the next on the list. Trust me, I'm never wrong.
You know,
Yeah.
it's also generational though. It's also generational because my mom had a brand new Dell laptop, and she lost it. It was half tablet, half laptop. She lost the pen, and she's like, "Oh, do you want to have this laptop? It's useless to me." I was like, "Hell yeah, I want," because she didn't
Instead of
understand.
being like, Mom, you can literally buy a stylus.
Like she didn't understand that it's still an effing like fully functioning laptop. You know,
Don't you just love old people? Oh my
It's
god,
right
I have to.
it's
Oh my
literally
God.
right there.
No.
Well, my mom, you know, so
That's
people
the one
different.
thing stopping me from like forcing my mom
Okay.
because like I have a second line on my phone plan that I'm paying for but not using ever since Josh got robbed on public transit. He has a different phone now. So I'm paying for a second line, and the only thing stopping me from forcing my mom to just come on my plan and get a fucking smartphone finally, because the bitch insists on using a flip phone, is the fact that then I'd have to teach my mom how to use it. And just dealing with old people and technology, oh my god. Having to explain how to get into the hotel Wi-Fi to old people is crazy enough.
Randolph
Yeah,
does bring up a good point. I want my porn sites to remember who I am and what I'm watching.
Oh my
Let's be
god.
real. Let's be real.
Today
So
I'm
Randolph
having
brings up
sex
a
and
good
spend the rest of my life not knowing. I've still never watched porn, and I still never will.
Randolph is making a good point, though. The thing
He
about
does that.
clicking to accept, he does it all the time.
Yes, he does.
The thing about clicking on the accept thing, that's just a teeny weeny part of GDPR that the public gets to see. There's a whole host of shit that goes on in the background when you're a company and you're running and you're looking after people's data.
Yeah.
It's immensely important, because without it, I'm talking EU now. America's different, but EU-wise, without all that shit, they can do what the fuck they want with our data.
Yeah.
Now this is what the Conservatives want to do. Check page 48 of that manifesto. I'll say it again. They want to be able to do what the fuck they want with our data.
Oh, yeah,
worth a
absolutely.
fortune to them. And I'll say it again. What is the most valuable database on the planet? Fucking
The internet.
NHS data.
Okay, shall we talk about Oliver Dowden real quick?
Okay.
We might as well get into this fucking privet hedges of freedom fucking fuckery.
Jake Richards tweeted this. He said, "I find this speech by Olive Dowden as astoundingly embarrassing. As I walk with my children through the calm suburbia of Hertfordshire, its values so derided by the left, I actually reflect on the great fortune we have to live in a nation defined by stability, security, and yes, conservatism. For me, the privet hedges of suburbia are the privet hedges of a free people, and I will make it my mission as chairman to defend those values and those freedoms."
There you go. Now,
That is the most nonsensical wannabe campaign statement I have ever had the misfortune of encountering in my life. That just brutally murdered a good chunk of my brain cells that were already dying because I'm back on night shift. God damn it. This is your fault, Stool.
It's not just gibberish. I mean, it's hilarious gibberish.
But it's fucking it's more than gibberish. I don't even think a word exists to describe that.
Yeah, but they're trying to recall that he's basically saying make Britain great again.
Exactly. Yeah. As we all know, that's basically a code for, hey, racists. Hi.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, as an American, I've read this book before.
So the privet hedges of freedom, is that like the British equivalent of Let's Go Brandon?
Yeah, but in America, we run off of propaganda in America. And
Absolutely.
now what people see, it works. So why wouldn't they do it in the UK? Why wouldn't they?
That's an official thing, actually, because somebody did leak a little thing that some conservative, whatever, high up said, which was basically, let's just copy Trump, because you can lie and lie and lie.
If you Priti Patel reminds me of an American because she'll say a bold-faced lie and just expect everyone else to believe it. And just because she believes it, other people do. Do you know, people didn't believe Trump. They believed his confidence. They believed that stupid look on his face, you know?
That's the thing. It's people like that. It amazes me how they just. I think they really believe that if they say something, it just automatically becomes true, regardless of plausibility or probability.
I have a rule of never.
They think that. I think they believe their own shit.
I have a personal rule of never trust a politician. Okay, perfect example. Last Sunday, my job got nonprofit of the quarter from our representative. His name's Scott Wilk. I believe he's a Republican, okay?
Oh, God.
I met this man face to face. He was a stereotype. He came to a ranch wearing $400 shoes. You're walking on dirt. Anyways, my whole point is he had the brush cut and everything, you know?
Mhm.
These people are only out for themselves. They could care less about any of us. They literally are part of a class that they have rules. There's rules for them and rules for us. You know,
Mhm.
he was a
That's it.
standard politician. And I have to say this, when I was younger, because of my father, I met the second George Bush. Of course, you're calling me. Of course, right at the good George Bush part. And
Is it your ex-wife? It's your ex-wife, isn't it?
No, it's a 747 number. If I don't recognize it, it's a masked call from either Australia or India.
Well, here's what you do, okay? When calls like that call you, you answer the phone and you say, Michael Jackson's daycare, we like him young and hung. And then they never call you again.
Hey, African humanist, how are you?
Hi, Esther.
No, my whole point is, I met George Bush. George Bush looked me in the eye and at least shook my hand. He was wearing jeans and a regular shirt, you know.
See, Bush knows how to be a regular person. I like that. I like that he, like, his post presidential life. He doesn't sit there and just try to be relevant. He just minds his business and paints.
But my whole point is that most politicians are not like that. They could care less.
No more. No, it's the fact that we've slowly become a corporate oligarchy is that much more blatantly obvious now.
Well, in the 80s, people were saying that we were, consumers in the 80s, and by the time the 90s,
yeah, but I think it was just not as, the change from what we thought was a democratic, a republic to this corporate rich-owned oligarchy.
Okay, let me give you an example. Like here in America, we can no longer lie about our prosperity. Like you used to be able to walk around and see, like, oh wow, we have a mall, we have this or that. Like, I live on one of the more upper echelon suburbs in Southern California. Our mall is half abandoned.
I used to live in Burlington in South Jersey, and we have an abandoned mall. Actually, I think it got torn down, but yeah, malls are not popular anymore.
I have a question for the people in the UK. Is it like that in the UK? Do you have closed down shops everywhere, or?
Yeah,
it's like that here in America. Like
I've got to be slightly
because
careful
capitalism doesn't fucking work.
Now that I'm posh and that I live down south, I'm not totally sure of the situation around here, but certainly where I used to be, shops are just closed, and thanks to the internet and your shops in your town centre, basically they all moved out to retail parks, and then the internet, and then COVID, and so you go into what used to be a busy town centre, and all the shops are basically either betting shops, coffee shops, or phones selling second-hand cell phones at shops. Cell phones.
No, Esther, what I said was when you get the scam call, you say, Michael Jackson's daycare. We like them young and hung.
Okay, so I have mixed feelings about Madeleine Albright because from the American standpoint, oh, yay, she was the Secretary of Defense, was she?
Secretary of State.
Okay,
it's right there, Wilfred.
Okay, sorry. No, I was looking at an article. unless you're from Africa. If you're from Africa, you would be like good riddance, you know. So it just depends on what side of the street you're on.
I just put it there because it's breaking news. It's someone who's very well known.
No. I'm not anti Madeleine Albright, but you have to look at the other side and like.
Oh, of course. You always have to weigh multiple sides before having an opinion. But
she waged war on Somalia. She waged war on, the list goes on and on and on.
Do you want to talk about Madeleine Albright's niece?
I actually don't have that much information on her, but we can definitely, me and Will can definitely toss this back and forth. Now that it's not disproportionately British up in here.
Well, I'm not anti Madeleine Albright. Like I said, it's just, oh, she was 4'10". Wow, she was a hobbit.
Listen, my great grandma was 4'10". She was no hobbit, and if you called her a hobbit, she'd have kicked off her shoe at one end of the hallway and hit you in the back of the head at the other. Little women are scary. I would know because I myself am a small woman. I'm 5'5".
Speaking of hobbits, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm not insinuating you're a hobbit. There was a comma there. Okay. Speaking of hobbits, Mike. Have you talked about our little Hobbit Chancellor?
Hobbit Chancellor?
No,
we have not discussed any Hobbit Chancellors.
He's very ickle.
No, you want to talk about a Hobbit, look at the mirror stool.
Oh,
just look at his suit.
Actually, no, you're more like fucking... No, you know what Stool reminds me of? If we're going to get all fucking Tolkien up in this bitch, Stool is literally a bearded golem.
Thank you.
Fuck off.
I'll say one thing and leave it because you need to talk about your Madeline. But look at his suits, okay? Now, I spent a lot of yesterday reminding people that this guy is massively wealthy. His wife, oh God, no, I'll shut up about that. They're massively wealthy, and his suits cost him an absolute fortune to be made for him. He does not walk into a shop and buy them. Look at his suits; they're all too small for him in the arms and in the legs. Now, why would that be? It's because he wants to look like he's grown out of them, like he's still growing. He's teeny weeny.
Oh my God. If that isn't a fucking extreme case of a Napoleon complex, I don't know what is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not necessarily the tallest person in the world, so I'm not judging anyone on
You're probably taller than me.
I'm 5'9", flat-footed.
You're taller than me. I'm 5'5".
With my cowboy boots on, I give the illusion of height.
But,
I'm just small no matter what. But I will talk shit to somebody twice my size. I have on many occasions.
What were you going to say, Sofa?
Madeleine Albright, she was 84. And did she die today? Was it today that she died?
It was a couple of days ago.
Yesterday. Oh, yeah. So March the 23rd, Madeleine Albright, who fled the Nazis as a child in her native Czechoslovakia during World War II, then rose to become the first female U.S. Secretary of State, and in her later years, a pop culture feminist icon, died on Wednesday at the age of 24. So, can you guys tell us a bit more about her? Because I don't know. I mean, I've heard of her, but I don't know. I know next to nothing about it, to be honest.
Again, during the Clinton era, we had the illusion of prosperity. And so in the United States of America, our culture was amazing. We had all these great things going on, and our military was waging wars in other countries. My brother was a Marine. He went to Africa like 6 different times.
So what was it like for him being in the Navy?
No, my brother was a Marine. My dad was in the Navy.
The Marines are a subset of the Navy. Oh my God, I can tell my mother I finally did what she told me to do. She really told me, like, if I ever want to piss off a Marine, ask him what it was like being in the Navy.
I grew up semi like military brat, so I used to go to protest to piss off my parents, But during the Clinton era, she she used the military wing. So I don't know. History will. I'm not going to judge her because history will. Like I always say, it depends on what side you're on.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be admired about the fact that she went from literally fucking surviving the Holocaust to becoming a prominent, figure in politics. So, there's something to be admired about that, but it doesn't excuse the fact that she was, a warmonger.
I love Barack Obama. I think Barack Obama is an amazing human being. He would sit down and talk with us, but he led a war on people in Afghanistan and Iraq, and was the tip of the spear of how many people. He was, the commander in drone strike.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So I try to look at, because I haven't done any of these things. Stool hasn't. People think Stool's committed atrocities.
Stool is an atrocity. He doesn't commit atrocities. His existence is one.
My whole point is...
This is true. Look, I've no pants on.
God!
You have lovely, lovely white legs.
Oh my God! I think it's God for life!
Racist.
I am racist.
You racist.
What am I gonna do? Oh my God!
Don't you see, like...
Oh my God, Josh is gonna get out of fucking lockup, and I'm gonna have to tell him that I saw Stool without pants on. And how do you think that's gonna go over?
Alexa, what's the temperature right now?
Right now, it's 85 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, in Southern California, it is 85 degrees.
I don't know what the temperature is here, but it's fucking cold. To the point that I should probably put on pants and a jacket if I want to go out and smoke a cigarette.
I took my cowboy hat off to tan the other day. That's how beautiful it's been.
You know what? That is the most Murica thing I've ever heard you say.
I wear a cowboy hat just to confuse people.
I mean, you confuse people anyway, but it's fine.
Oh, don't even get me started. Like, even today when I bought this sewing machine, the lady was so confused because the owner of the business across the street was coming in, and then a brown guy walked in, and she's like, oh, where's Mr. blah, blah, blah? And she said my last name, and my son was like, he's right here. I felt so sorry for her. I felt so sorry for her.
Oh.
I am not what people expect me to be.
Oh no, far from it.
But we've got one more story, I think.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
we're going to wrap up. Talking of Rishi Sunak.
Please be the fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene shit.
No.
Oh, I saw
Damn it!
No, this guy,
that you've got family links.
This is a good one.
His wife apparently has a stake in the Indian IT consultancy firm Infosys. They operate in Moscow. They have an office there. They have a delivery office there. They've got a connection to the Alpha Bank in Moscow. Are you giving advice to others that you're not following in your own home?
It's not. I'm an elected politician, and I'm here to talk to you about what I'm responsible for. My wife is not.
She is not, but equally, if you as a country, we are asking taxpayers to fund the UK's support for Ukraine. We're asking people in the UK to give their homes up to Ukrainian refugees, whereas it appears your family potentially could be benefiting from Putin's regime.
No, I don't think that's the case. And as I said, the operations of all companies are up to them. We've put in place significant sanctions, and all the companies that we're responsible for are following those, as they rightly should, sending a very strong message to Putin's aggression.
Do you know if Infosys is?
I have absolutely no idea, because I have nothing to do with that company.
What a complete
Oh my
fraud.
God, he is so embarrassed with himself. He's tripping all over himself. He don't know what the fuck is. He can't even explain himself.
So I have a really quick question.
Oh God, you have the sunglasses on. Now it's getting real.
Did he or did he not say that he's also responsible for the poorest people in Britain? Or am I misquoting?
In that clip, I mean, he has said that.
Oh,
Yeah.
because I saw a headline with that picture with a different with the headline I just said, and it just it got my blood boiling. It just got me so angry because these people are so out of touch.
Yeah.
But are we shocked?
No, but he's complicit with this Russian company, just like everybody else in Boris Johnson's cabinet, and he's denying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there are some nice photos emerged today of his wife. His wife is the wealthy one in the relationship. She's worth an absolute fortune.
She's richer than the Queen.
She's richer than the Queen.
Wow.
She's got she's invested in this Russian company, and the photos that emerged today, I think it was, of her father, so Rishi's father-in-law, stood having a nice little jolly chat with Putin. Yeah, like you do.
Oh my God. Ridiculous.
Oh, I just read the comment really quick. I'll show you my sewing machines anytime, Afrohumanist.
All right, and with that, just got very inappropriate, and I thought that was my forte. I am the inappropriate one here. I make the dick jokes. I make the fucked up jokes. Get back in your lane and stay there.
I have another question. Don't you guys have laws against, being a collaborator, being a Russian collaborator? Because
don't we all have laws against it, but are they followed?
We used to.
Yeah.
And yet he tweeted that he tweeted this: "I am urging firms to think very carefully about their investments in Russia and how they may aid the Putin regime. I also want to make it clear there is no case for new investment in Russia." So the hypocrisy, I can smell the hypocrisy from here.
So can I.
It smells like bullshit.
But it goes back to...
It smells like bitch in here.
There's the us and them rules, There's rules,
totally.
for us and rules for them,
I'm telling you, Orwell would be regarded as a prophet at this point.
It's no longer, but see, the funny thing is, like, we crossed over cliche like 2 or 3 years ago. We're living.
Oh, I mean, definitely, you're not wrong. But like
every time something happens, I'm like, I've seen this on Star Trek, Doctor Who, Battlestar Galactica. I've seen this episode.
Oh my God, my mom makes comparisons to the Matrix a lot.
We're living Babylon 5 right now. If you really want to think about it, the shadows
what the
are
fuck
coming.
Is Babylon 5?
Oh.
But kudos to the interviewer for calling him out.
What's that, Sofa?
What do you have that you probably shouldn't be playing with?
But kudos to to that interview on Sky News for calling him out.
Yeah.
They don't usually do that.
No, they don't. No.
Well, maybe if they did more of it, we wouldn't have half these problems.
Exactly. That is the problem that we have, because these idiots on the TV just nod along. Look, Willie's demonstrating now. They just nod along.
I want to say that at least some percentage, probably not an overwhelming percentage, of that phenomenon has more to do with, I want to think that most people are fairly reasonable as long as they're not in the Bible Belt.
I hope you're not stroking a kniff there, Stool, because I don't want to.
I think they're just shocked. Like, oh my God, are they really saying that? And all they can do is nod.
Stool is doing. That's very British right now.
It's my emotional. It's my emotional support knife. Every time we talk about these people,
I should go in my car and show you my knife. I have a beautiful rainbow knife that I've had since I worked at Quality Inn.
But I don't want to get bananated.
Oh, sorry, I shouldn't be doing that. Oh, sorry.
Damn it, Stool. First of all, who let you play with pointy objects? I need to have a talk with them.
I told you, like, I've fallen these like holes into YouTube, and I fell into this hole of people in the UK. They'll like make hate videos. They'll go to someone's neighborhood and they're like, "I'm in your neighborhood," and I didn't know it was real. I thought it was satire, but it was real. So seeing Stool sit there with the knife, it reminded me of one of those videos.
Stool sitting there with the knife just gave me really, really bad images.
Right now. I'm at your mom's house.
Will, was I looking a bit gangster?
Super.
No,
gangster.
no.
Super.
Don't lie to the man. Don't lie to the man. He looks like a deranged fucking serial killer.
That's gangster too. Being scary is gangster.
Oh my god. Well, in that case, I'm pretty fucking gangster because I've gotten very scary over the last few months. I have grown balls and I have been cursing people out and not taking shit from anybody. Will, you know what I'm doing to my old employer.
You know,
right?
Yeah, of course.
Burning them to the fucking ground. I have an interview with Civil Rights. Not next week, but the week after for the fucking suspension. I've got them under investigation for wage theft anyway. And now everybody fucking quit.
I actually had this conversation with my son today on the way home from the long way home from our job, from my job, and I was trying to explain to him how it's always the quiet ones you have to be scared of. It's not the loud mouth, it's not the guy running around, it's the quiet one. So to me, the one who's more reserved, more quiet, they're the gangster one, you know, because you know they're gonna get a cricket bat and crack your head open when you're not looking. So I'm more scared of that guy than the loudmouth because at least I can see the loudmouth, you know.
Like outside of the internet, like in real life, I come off like one of the most mild-mannered people ever when you first meet me. But then somebody makes the mistake of pissing me off.
I dress like a biker. People leave me alone, and I'm living my best life and loving it.
I just go to work and come home. Like I work overnight, so people don't see much of me. Like nobody really sees me. Like I'm actually like after I get off of here, I'm gonna go pick up my friend because he's fucking homeless, and I told him he could take a shower here because I'm not an asshole. And
do you know who talks the most trash to me? Recently are religious people. They're trying to save me, you know.
Oh, wonderful!
I'm dressed like a gay biker.
I actually went to a funeral recently. My aunt's ex-boyfriend died, which was awkward having to go to the funeral and see my aunt, considering I had to face off against her in court recently. But I digress. But this fucking funeral was just there was so much God shit on all the paperwork, and I'm like, I want to pay my respects, but I feel so like out of place because this is, you know, I feel like there's going to be a low key effort to try to save me here.
So when I went to the UK eons ago now, it was probably like 18 years ago, 19 years ago now. Okay, it was so non-religious. I was impressed. Is it like that now there?
Or do you have our?
I was you guys. It's like you guys like it's like Mexico. Okay, Mexico has beautiful churches and cathedrals, but people are drinking beers outside of it and having parties around it. You know, no one cares.
Yeah, but isn't the Anglican Church to some extent a part of the laws? I know at the very least, at a church wedding, and somebody says I object, they actually legally have to stop the wedding. Like I know there is some aspect of theology in there.
No, no. Americans always make this mistake.
All right, well, educate me, please. If I'm wrong, I want to be educated.
I'm about to do that now.
Cool.
I'm going to
love it.
Okay. Are you sitting comfortably? You see, all this nonsense about us. Oops, sorry. I've got to sorry. You will listen. No, I won't do it. So, yes, there is officially a state religion, but it's not a thing, really. You know, just like we have a queen, we don't all walk around bowing and curtsying. You know, she doesn't have any power. And I know Americans don't understand this and think we're, tyranny. Ooh.
No, the reason I bring it up is because when I went there, most people were atheists, and I was actually shocked.
I think the official figure is that, and this is nonsense, I think the official figure is 50% of the people here claim to be non-religious. Now, that, I would say, is bullshit. I think it's way a bigger number than that. Simply because of the way our census is carried out. A lot of people will say they are Church of England, when in reality, they're not anything. They just happen to be born.
They're nominal Christians.
Yeah.
They're just Christians by title, but not in fact. It's like here in America we have the really, really super Orthodox Jews, and then you have the more casual, they observe certain Jewish practices, but they're not gung-ho sticking to every word of the text.
I live in a Mormon neighborhood, and their kids are walking around smoking cigarettes and drinking sodas. So they're Mormon by name.
Yeah, it seems like that would be what it is in England, and that was really what I was getting to. Like, that was the impression that I got, that like, even though there's technically a state religion, it's not like legally required to actually practice that religion.
No.
Because the reason I bring it up is because here, even in Los Angeles, like, we have mega preachers. We have, religion is making a comeback, and this is a land of the heathens here. So it's strange to me.
You would know all about heathens, wouldn't you?
I'm a card-carrying member.
Most. I haven't done.
It's okay. I'm a heathen too. I literally run around like I was at a fucking public transit hub. There's a bunch of Jehovah's Witnesses, and I started screaming "Hail Satan" at them. That was fun. They laughed.
But most of the people in this country have really no interest and never have had in any kind of religion whatsoever, except for Mike, because he's a weirdo. Most people,
you know what? You leave Mike alone. Weird is fun, okay? Normal people are boring.
Okay, but let me ask you a question. Like, on Sunday, do people around you go to church?
No, people who go to, it depends where you. I'll get onto that bit in a second. Most people do not go to church, never have and never will, unless they're getting married, because whatever.
Yeah, the church has to be involved in marriages. That was the impression I got.
The old people, and there's obviously there aren't many of them because they keep dying, but the old people tend to go, especially when they get the head cancer and shit like that. But most people, no. Why? I mean, no.
So it's basically not seen as being like central to life like it is in some parts of the U.S.
No, as if the place that I moved from, oh God, Mike, I live closer to France now than I do to you. How fucking weird is
God, France!
It messes with my head. So the place where I used to live,
with my French legal last name and French ex-husband.
Lots of really nice churches.
Put that knife down. Stop waving it around.
But most of them are empty. They can't afford to heat them. Sundays they're pretty much empty. They get converted into whatever, student accommodation or pubs, whatever. It's just not a thing anymore.
I'll tell you a story. I went to my friend's baby's baptism a few years ago. And
you didn't burst into flames walking into a church?
And the priest, he was just going through the motions because he knew full well that the only reason my friend was getting his son baptized was so that he could get into a Catholic school. And the ceremony was over in about 5 minutes, less than that even. And then we were all in the pub afterwards, wetting the baby's head.
I had to go through the motions once, and I hated every second of it. Now, this is when I was getting married, going back a while now. And
who the fuck would marry you?
My wife. So I'm living in this.
You have a wife? Oh my God! That's a woman.
But my wife wanted to who lives here, but she wanted to get married here because her grandma lived there. So we both had to go there to speak to the vicar to ask his permission if we could get married in his church. I, who live here, I had to speak to the vicar who was in charge of the, parish where I lived. I didn't know the fuck he was. I had to write him a fucking letter asking for his permission for me to get married in this church over here. What a palaver.
Are they the Godfather? Are they gangsters? Are they gonna beat you up if you get married in the wrong church?
I think
That's
so.
weird.
Yeah.
That's...
You know what? I actually have a similar story. When I was born, this is more my mother's story than mine. So I'm probably telling it completely fucking wrong. But apparently, when I was a baby, when I was born, my parents, my mom was raised by, my grandparents were Catholic, and there's a lot of the old, fresh off the boat Italians in my family, and all the little old Sicilian aunties were asking my mom if she was going to have a christening for me. And my mom, even being even more of an atheist fuck than I am, my mom's a lot more vocal about it. I'm like, okay, live your life, believe what you believe. My mom's like, well, shit is fucking Satan. Like, okay. So, but my mom she went to the church where she and her siblings went when I was a kid. When she was a kid. Oh my God, I am fried mentally, and I'm not even stoned. I'm sober. So my mom goes to this church, St. James in Jamesburg, and she was going to have a christening for me. And the priest told her that because my mom didn't marry my dad in that church, that I was going to hell. And that they wouldn't christen me.
Wow.
And I didn't know this story until I was an adult, and my mom fucking spilled it out while drunk out of her mind. The bitch had too many black houses. Too much black house in her system. And she's fucking drunk, raving about it. I'm like, well, did grandma know about this? Because my grandma was really feared and respected around the area. And my mom stopped, was like, no, she didn't. Why didn't I tell her that day? She'd have burned them to the ground. I'm like, okay. But no, it's ridiculous how churches are so particular about if this isn't done on our property, that it's not valid. Like, really?
Yeah.
It seems like it's even state sanctioned in England.
It was one of those weird things. When I was younger, I went to Egypt, and when I went to the UK, I saw more Egyptian art at your guys' Natural History Museum than I saw in Egypt. All the good stuff's in the UK.
Because we stole it.
No, I'm not joking.
You pillagers!
No, don't get me wrong. The pyramid is awesome. I still, as a little kid, I remember looking out and seeing the sunset and the pyramid. Gorgeous. But all the good stuff, I could tell you the address. I have all the old paperwork. It's in the UK.
Oh my God.
I actually have been there twice. Once as a little kid and once as an adult.
I walked past it the other day.
Oh, so I know where you live.
School got doxxed.
No, no, every time you say France, I know someone that has a house in Normandy. And they live on that side somewhere near the tunnel.
I had to walk. I must tell you, this is not doxing myself. I had to go through London to get to where I was going. I had to do it on foot from one train station to another.
I can't imagine you going through London. I feel like London is too classy for you.
Well, I'll tell you something. The journey in total took about, I think, 6.5 hours. It should have taken about 4.5 hours. But I had a bit of an episode in St. Pancras, Mike. Now, that fucking station, I'm still mad about it. It can fuck off and die.
So you're in an eternal state of mad. It's kind of hard to take you seriously when you say you're mad.
I stood there for 2 hours waiting for a fucking train. Oh, I'm going to make a video about it someday because I was fucking fuming. Stupid station.
Yeah.
So I'm walking down a road.
Put it down.
Oh shit! Sorry, I'm walking down the road.
Just gonna get Mike fucking blacklisted. The black sofa gets blacklisted. Do you know how many jokes I could make out of that? And I don't want to have to make them. And it'll be your fault.
The sexy thing is, I'm walking down Euston Road. Now, I'm walking down Euston Road. Now, Thames Television used to be there, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I know exactly what you're talking about. Sorry, I am paying attention now.
No. Well,
I know it's hard to when Stool opens his mouth.
No, I have a new sewing machine, so I'm playing with it. I'm paying attention.
I've been watching Man About the House from series 1, episode 1 recently.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah. And I did tell her, I tweeted that I was watching it. And she went like that. And I was quite pissed off because I walked down Euston Road in a rush, running for a train that wasn't fucking even going to arrive. And then afterwards I thought, I didn't go sightseeing. I wanted to look at that place where Thames used to be. And also I did go past that museum where we nicked all our stuff.
The fucking dragon horde.
Oh, from the pillars in the beginning of the building and everything.
Oh my god.
Do you live in London now still then?
No, Mike.
But near London?
No, actually no, but I went through it.
Ah.
I live, I always say Los Angeles, but because Los Angeles is nebulous, because it's 300 square miles. So if you were to come here, you'd get lost looking for me.
Your only clue, Mike, is...
Don't tell that to your stalkers.
I'm close to France, and I think big car parks.
Okay.
I watch way too much
I
of
just live
your
on the
news.
side of a highway.
No, I got that. So I watch way too much of your guys' news. Way too much. It's live when I'm going to bed. Like, I put it on live because I like watching other people's problems to make me forget about my own.
Doesn't everybody?
Anywho, I'm going to wrap things up because
Awesome.
it's quite near. It's 20 to midnight in the UK.
Oh, geez.
It's been great having you guys. This is the most amount of people I've had on with me for ages. It's been awesome.
since before my near-death experience.
Usually I'm cooking dinner, but I cheaped out and bought pizza and breadsticks.
Ooh, I might buy pizza. I have a friend coming over. I'm gonna be like, "Do you want fucking pizza or what? You fuck. I can't say shit given. Don't ruin the word shit given for me."
So yeah, it's been great, and thanks to everyone who's been watching and listening, in the side chat, and do tune in next week for more of the same.
Follow me on TikTok, and I'll plug it relentlessly at that bitch signies.
There you go. And
I swear to God, I made that my TikTok handle.
Cool.
All one word, no capitals. That bitch signies.
Yeah, go follow her, everyone, on TikTok.
And follow Mike too, because honestly, his TikToks are funnier than mine. Mine are just like, I barely fucking post because I don't have a boyfriend to annoy right now. Hopefully by this time next week, I'll be posting bad joke TikToks annoying Josh again. But for now, his ass is sitting in fucking county jail.
So yeah, until next time, bye for now.
Bye Felicias and Felipes and fucks of the non-binary variety.